Superman.
We'll see you later.
All right, we'll see you. Take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I try to keep like 100 to 120 books in each box so that they don't get too tight and too loose. You know, so, I keep them in alphabetical order. You know,
no, that's how my collection was. My collection was always in alphabetical order.
Ever since I started collecting again, they're in alphabetical order, but everything else is. I have like 9 boxes of Spider-Man, 7 boxes of like Avengers related titles, 2 boxes of Captain America.
Yeah, I did that too, and then everything else I had in alphabetical. I had alphabetical order. The stuff I was really collecting a lot of, like Amazing and stuff, I just kept them all in separate boxes because you were buying those more than you're buying anything.
Like when I buy the book, I say, okay, it goes right in that box.
All right. It doesn't really matter then what box you put anything in. If you've already got it written down, if you just say, hey, I'm looking for Spider-Man 592, you could have that box in box 47.
Right.
And then Spider-Man 600 could be in box 22, because if you got it all written down, it doesn't even matter what box you got it in. Now everything is just, all my stuff that I actually do collect, it's only 4 or 5 books. I just put it, as I read it, when it fills up a small box, it's in there. It's not even in any order, not even bagged and boarded anymore. None of my new stuff. None of my new stuff is. Hey, Mike.
Nice.
So why wouldn't you get that book graded if you're going to sell it?
Yeah.
You can't go less than a 0.5 unless it's
right.
just
right. 0.5 is the worst. Is the worst grade.
I think a page
actually,
can be like a 0.1 if it's just a page.
I've seen a P or whatever, and that's just like partial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
You know, the friend I told you about who had the 15, it's up there. It's got 58 watchers.
Oh yeah.
He wants 9,900 for it though.
Oh yeah.
Well, is he doing it as a buy it now or a?
Yeah, he's just doing it to buy it now. It's not
Probably better off doing it as like a reserve price. You know, and then that
well,
way,
that's sort of like your
the people
reserve.
decide what they want to pay for it. If the reserve price isn't met, it doesn't get sold.
Right. Well, but if his reserve price is $9,500, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh, but he could get more for it.
Right, but he's not getting $9,500 for it. So why even? So you know, it's.
Why are you getting such a?
No, we're just thinking common sense now. We're not thinking like a doofus.
So,
All right.
what did you say? It was like a 3.
Offer him $4,000. Send us in. You know, give him.
Are you paying him $4,000 if I win?
Oh, I'd pay $4,000 for that in a heartbeat. But yeah, it's offer him put it off for $4,000. You know, someone made me an offer like that, I would just ignore them. I mean, you don't even. That's an insulting offer.
The cover dripped.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's missing a corner there. It's
Yep.
missing a corner there.
Yeah.
Just fold it over.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's a big chunk. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, it's all torn up top too. Inside's falling apart.
Pages aren't that. The pages are kind of off white. I mean,
first couple out.
Yeah.
But once you get into it, they're not in bad shape.
Yeah, the inside pages don't look bad at all. Yeah, there's the chunk right there.
Yeah.
I just saw the ripped cover and the ripped.
I didn't even see the piece off the back. Obviously, he never sent it to me to let you look at, like he said.
So I'll give him $4,500 for it.
I'm gonna have to look at it again.
Oh, I'm sending the offering.
It seems like you guys are being pretty harsh. I'll have to check it out.
Because that back cover was ripped. I mean, it was gone, right?
No, the cover there was a piece missing out of the cover.
Yeah, right. If you're buying it and want to pay, you know, and you're gonna pay like full what it's worth price ungraded like that, I'd say it's only worth about $7,000. And that's probably right about where it would be. I'd pay $4,500. Because I'm not buying.
I ain't buying it because I don't have any money.
Yeah, I'm not buying. I own one. I got a better copy, and I got a better copy than that. So I have to go really take a look at mine again now. Now that I saw the price, I'm looking at that.
I might be sending some books in to get graded. Send them in together.
There's other stuff in my collection that I have. So I've been selling stuff out of my collection since I've opened up the shop. Just Spider-Man is what. Amazing is what I won't sell unless, like I said, absolutely necessary. I just get older and it says, okay, it's time to let this go, get the dollars that you can get for it, and then be on your way. So we'll see when that time comes. Right, I did it.
If you lost the fun of dealing with your books,
I did. You know why? Because I deal with it every day. I don't want to go home and re-straighten out my collection. I straighten out here
that's
every
why
day.
I could never own a shop.
Yeah,
because I'd be looking at stuff going.
but I still bring home stuff every week and read stuff, and I still love the comics. I love the reading.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I am a collector anymore. I collect Amazing Spider-Man, but I love to read comics. So, but you know something, before I owned the shop as a collector, I don't think I was a true collector. I bought the stuff that I really liked. I didn't collect things because it was worth money.
Yeah.
I bought stuff that's, wow, I like this book. I mean, when I moved from my parents' house to the place I own now, I probably bought 15, 20 boxes of books and just dropped them here in the store and said, I don't need these anymore. Some of the stories I had loved, but I'm never going to look at those again. And they went right in the quarter boxes. I mean, they weren't worth anything. And I just filled up the underneath the tables of quarter and 50-cent boxes, and they were gone. I says, I probably will never look at these. I'm not going to walk these up 3 flights of stairs to the loft to put them in. It's easy to drop them off here and just sell them off. I mean, I read enough books. I get enough books that for me now to go back and reread stuff, just don't have the time for it.
When we were kids growing up, you know, there's a bunch of us, or a few of us, who bought books, okay? And we'd buy the same things. Maybe we'd have some of the things that we liked the other person didn't, and we'd go into it and we'd buy it. But some things we had in common. And for that 2-year period, we sort of, oh, these are great, we love this. You know, but then as you grow up, you get other interests, you move on, or you don't want to spend your money on it. But then when you get back into it after a period of 5 or 10 years, you remember that core stuff you really like.
Oh, yeah.
And then anything before it, it's like, well, I don't remember it, but oh, this is historical, it's cool, I can buy it. Yeah. Any stuff after it, it's like legacy stuff. It's like, okay, they went to here, and they lost me after all this. But you know how comics changed in the 70s and even into the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So that's it. You know, you got that part where it grabs you, remember, that's from your youth, and then you put it, and you maybe flesh it out a little bit at each side.
When I open up my shop, you know, someone comes in and says, "Hey, do you have a Fantastic Four #1?" What am I doing? Of course I do. I've got one. Yeah, I've got one at my house, and I'm going, no, right? And then I'm realizing this time, it's like, when you open up your business, you're living day by day. You need whatever you can get today to pay for stuff tomorrow. So now at this time, it's like, I've got a $500 book at my house that someone's asking for, and I'm saying no. So you bring it in, and you sell it, and then you sell your Fantastic Four 48, 49, 50.
You're tearing my heart out.
Right, and then you sell your Iron Man 55. And again, this was even before what they are worth now because of movies and stuff that have just cranked all these prices up. But for 1993, 1994, that was still big money. That was still big money, and every book I was selling, I was making a profit. And I was like, I bought this book for $500 now, and I can only get $400 for it. You know, they had gone up, but I never bought that collection of me collection for it to be worth something. You know, it just happened to be worth something. But now that I went through and sold all this stuff, now I've just got a half-filled run of Fantastic Four. I brought it to the store. So I don't own a Fantastic Four comic now, you know? Do I still love the stuff? Sure I do. But I've already sold it. I don't want to buy it back now, you know? It's,
I understand what you mean.
Hello, Colonel Palace. When I came in, the light was on. I went next door to see if UPS dropped anything off at Romano's. I came back in, and it was just completely off.
Because you didn't bring anything back from Romano's.
That could have been it, yeah. You all set, pal?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm going to be moving, Phil. And there's going to be, I need to read the previews. I don't know if you've seen the big previews book. So I've been slowly reading through that, which is not good for my addiction of the comicals. So I've been finding very cool horror basing. So this is my highlight. It is called Stephen King's Creepshow. And it looks very fun. It has 5 short stories in it. Very old school type Tales from the Crypt. This is exciting. Copperhead. Great book. I actually got published in it in the editors. Kind of like a sci-fi western type gimmick. New #1, Star Wars, can't go wrong, controls the market. New #1, Regression. This looks fun. Person in a psych ward. The Fix, great little book. Nick Spencer, lent us some artwork.
And then the main event was Bray Wyatt versus Ambrose.
Spidey, which isn't very good, but it's the first book I ever got, so I keep reading it. Shadows on the Grave, more short horror stories, and a great horror story, Harrow County.
Now, were they
You know it's a
code?
good comic book.
Yeah,
My
they were code G. Yeah,
fiance
they were
reads
code
it.
G.
And that's it for today, Phil. That's all I have for you.
So,
The art's just fun because I feel like it's very. I feel for a horror comic, you kind of need really good, you know, gritty type art. So I like kind of that gritty art, the kind of grainy. I like the lines, the textures that are still there.
But not belly.
This kind of has almost like a watercolory effect to it. I don't want it to be clean if it's going to be a horror comic. Something like that. That would never make the mainstream. I like that.
X-Men Gold.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy they fired.
You got
Right.
that, plus you got the Jim Lee cover.
Jim Lee cover.
It's a 1 in 1,000.
It's a 1 in 1,000.
Throw it on eBay.
I'm going to. If it doesn't sell here, that's exactly where it's going to go. It's kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, the first print.
Right.
There's no price in the price guide.
Right.
Because so few of them change hands. There's no set price.
Right.
I bought one, but the people who's selling those on their websites were selling them for over $1,000 and that's why they're not going on eBay, because they're selling them on there
Right.
and they got their money. They don't have them anymore.
Right.
They're gone. They're all in private collectors' hands. So my question is, do we want to charge $900?
I can't picture that. I can't picture someone would buy one of these for 600. To be honest with you.
Well, I did.
Yeah, I know.
And there are plenty of other stupid people out there that will spend more.
But it takes one idiot to come along
That's
and
all
pay
it takes.
$3,000.
Right.
Oh, I need this.
But we are limited by the idiots that come through the door in this store. That's the worldwide idiot,
I know.
selection. The selections of the idiots over here are worldwide.
What he's trying to say is there are a smarter amount of people that come through my store than the
No.
worldwide people.
Sure.
That's
Nope,
what he's saying.
You just have a smaller crew of idiots coming in
I
because
didn't say anything. Did you notice that? All I said was, "Now you took it a step further."
Right. So you're calling my customers idiots. That's what you're saying.
There was more idiots
There are-
coming.
there are a lot of
on
idiots,
here,
I
less
think.
idiots coming into the store
Right.
than there are on the
Yeah.
Right. So,
worldwide
but you would. So basically, you're saying the customers here are idiots. That's what you're saying.
would you want an idiot to come in and give you $1,000?
I want a person to come in and give me $1,000. Doesn't make him an idiot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't start throwing the word idiot.
He threw the word idiot, but you pointed to my customers, to the customers of the Comic Book Palace. You pretty much were saying they were idiots.
You're right. That's unfair.
You're a customer.
I'm an idiot.
Floppy, man, come on, dude, don't
Yeah.
back down. Say yes. they
Why?
are
Why?
idiots.
Yeah. Why you just on the people on the people that
You're
come
right.
into the store?
No, you're
Basically, what Mark was saying is that the customers here are more intelligent than a lot of the rest of the world, and then you threw all the customers under the bus, calling them idiots. That's pretty much what you said.
I didn't interpret it that way. I think there are some idiots who come in, some valued customers, because of the exposure of eBay. I think that there's a bigger demographic of idiots that it could be seen. You are limited by only Haverhill idiots.
Warning, bullshit alert.
So now you're saying the people from Haverhill are idiots. That's what you're saying.
Yes. If someone wants to spend their hard-earned money, pay whatever you and Mark want to charge for this, $800, $900, $1,000, and they buy it, and they genuinely like it, they're not an idiot.
Good. I could be. Maybe I need to be charging $3,000, but I want to give my customers try to give them a fair deal.
That's noble. That's why you've been in business for 20 years.
4.
24 years.
Get it right.
That's why he's rolling in the dough, gentlemen.
Oh, that's not it either.
I'm just happy I got to see it in person.
You did. Me too. I'm thrilled.
And I've had enough.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Was your objective to resell it, or did you really want it?
Originally, that was my copy, but then I happened to be able to get in on another copy for even less than what I spent online.
So he's got two. He's got two copies.
So I figured, now's my chance
For me personally,
to make a little profit.
I just, for one book, I don't like the X-Men. Couldn't picture
not
spending $600.
Would you do it on the Wonder Woman?
No. I'm really having trouble wrapping my brain around what book I would do it on.
I wouldn't do it on any book that's only been out for a month, anyways.
But if that was the thought process, and you had a chance to spend, let's say, $800 on the 608 Batman retailer exclusive, and now you could sell it for $2,000.
But at that time, you didn't know you could sell it for $2 grand.
True.
So I would never. I still
so
would
you
never.
buy it because you're a collector, and then if it's later on down the road,
It still wasn't worth $800 to me. To me, as a collector, when it first came out, it was not worth $800. libraries didn't even want to carry comics. They weren't carrying
Schools.
comics. Schools weren't doing anything
Schools
with
would do it,
comics.
but
No,
back
they
then,
weren't.
because nobody was giving it to them. They weren't going
Right.
to pay for them. But if somebody were going to donate, comic books, they would have done something with
They
them.
weren't doing anything with them. Comics were
And back
back then were not allowed anywhere. You know, it's
That's not true. I
oh,
had
yeah.
comics with me all the time when I was in school.
Yeah, that was it.
I wish my teachers gave me comics. They
right.
were my
But that was
favorite
the thing. That was the thing. They didn't give you comics because they didn't want them in the schools.
Witchcraft.
Right. It's things have changed since I've gone to school.
Now
It's-
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But you can still have all ages books and send them to.
But back then, comics weren't what they are today, where people
that's
accept
true.
them. You know, it's
Yeah, well, no. Back then, no, they still do. They still would accept stuff, but there's nobody would ever donate anything there.
No.
The
you couldn't go to a comic shop. I mean, they don't donate now at the libraries. They buy the comics to put them in the libraries.
Yeah.
You couldn't go. There was not a graphic novel or anything in the library. That hasn't happened for the past started over the past 15 years or so.
Yeah, graphic novels are different. Graphic novels only been around for maybe 20 years.
And
25 years.
regular comics aren't in the libraries. They did a free comic book day thing. I donated a shitload of stuff for the library.
I'll leave it up to you. If you
Okay.
If you can get more, get more. But a minimum of 800.
All right.
One of the rarest X-Men books of all time.
Until the next rare one.
Yeah, till the next rare one.
Well, it's funny though. I mean, the X-Men have been around since the '60s. It's definitely one of the rarest.
Well, it's just
There's more X-Men #1s in existence, like the original X-Men #1, than there is of that book.
Well, of this cover, there's still 100,000 of these books out there. So, they look all right. 1,000
the Jean Grey from
Oh yeah, the little kid Jean Grey.
little kid Jean Grey running around for some reason.
I didn't even bring it home to try it. I hope that doesn't fall down back behind here.
I'm not moving that again.